What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Hades. His name is Ulysses. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Momo. It's now game number 6. Ulysses is mounting a comeback. And I mean, if we're learning anything from this series, it's that Greek is quite obviously overpowered, right? That's what we've learned here. First 3 games, Momo won with the Greeks. The next 2 games, Ulysses won with the Greeks, and Ulysses makes the third and final Greek that he can win with in game number 6. We'll see if the trend continues. Momo decided to change things up and go with Oranos in game number 6 here, seeing if he can get some luck out of this one. A different sort of map, though, than we've been seeing thus far. No hunt in the starting line of sight, but that does mean that there's going to be hunt spawning somewhere in the first ring around your bases. We do see that has been found here. Will Momo move up to it at some point? I'm sure he will sooner or later, but he just needs to wait maybe a little bit, maybe gets the 115 food right now, and then he'll move on to his second onto this hunt up here is potentially what his plan is. But Hades versus maybe a little bit early on that move. He's going to be fine here. He should be fine. But Hades versus Oranos here. This is a matchup that we have seen a little bit of in this tournament, and I think for the most part, Hades players have been winning it. Though this map, I would argue, is a perfectly reasonable map for Oranos to get very nice wins. It's super open. Looks like thus far we can see there's just tons of trees all over the map, but it's a super open map. We've got gold mines that are forward, very reminiscent of a Savannah spawn here in a way, as a mana getting dropped down for Momo. But this is going to be a tough one for Ulysses. I imagine he might try and grab this second town center early if that's what we're going to see. I mean, the thing is with Hades, there are a couple of ways in which Hades can play, but all the top players seem to just prefer the safer route of a fast second town center in this matchup. I'm not 100% sure why that is, because the one town center play for Greeks against Oranos work a treat if you understand exactly what your goals are in the matchup. So we'll see if that's what Ulysses is going to go for or not here, and what Momo's got in store. Now, Momo definitely, I would say, a master of the 2-town center defense against Atlanteans, but we just haven't seen him really play Oranos yet. So whether or not he understands what the weaknesses of the 2-town center play is, and he's going to be able to exploit that due to the fact that he does it so much, or if he's going to just kind of play the same old Oranos style that he's been having success against. Kind of interesting thought experiment there with like why someone does what he does, and if he's just kind of learned something that works, it just so happens to work, or if he has a deep understanding of it, is definitely something that is interesting, at least to me. Anyways, relics on the map here. We've got ourselves the Girdle of Hippolyta, extra 5% Toxotes, Chariot Archer, Throwing Axeman, and Arcus hit points here. And also up in the top of the map, we have the Eye of Ornlu, extra 5% Pacifist, Axeman, and Throwing Axeman hack damage. So couple of good relics on the map here for both the players. Momo going to be going for a delayed advance time here. This is a little bit spicy. Are we seeing an early Ajax? Yes, we are. That Ajax is going to be making his way straight down onto this location here. Momo has lost one of his oracles already, or lost a lot of HP on one of his oracles already, so it's going to be in a little bit of trouble here as he's pulling a villager off of this location. We see Athena coming through, Prometheus coming through, but the Ajax is going to be onto this location very, very soon. The villager's retreating away slowly, but there's no defense for an Ajax this early, so these villagers either have to shank away and lose out on resource gather time, or bring the oracles back and just manually turn them into hero oracles, as Momo is now getting pushed off of this hunt. He can move back onto the chicken for the time being. It's actually not the worst of ideas. As there's, I mean, he's trying to eat all of this boar, but he's not going to quite be able to get there. As the citizen retreating back home, they will be in range of the town center here, so it shouldn't be all too much of an issue for him. As the Ajax and Katoskopos moving up onto this manor over here, starting to do some damage to that one. Athena just about to hit through for Ulysses. And let's just check out what Ulysses is doing in his base. He's got himself 4 villages on gold. He's got himself a whole bunch of villages on wood. And he's advancing, and he's getting a Chiron. And is he throwing military buildings down? Yes, he is. We've got the military building, military academy, stable, getting dropped down. I love this from Ulysses. I think this is slightly, I mean, obviously he's got the Ajax out early, but this advance is slightly late, so he might want to throw down an extra military academy or spend some of those extra resources that he's got on something else just to catch back up. Maybe an archery range here wouldn't be a bad idea, and go for a 1-1-1 with a 5-15 advance or something like that. As the Minotaur pushing in, the mana going to get taken down very fast. Terma coming through, mana coming down over here for Momo, as well as he's going to get population blocked just a little bit. Another mana getting dropped down. Do we see any upgrades here? No upgrades through just yet, as the units are slowly starting to come through for Momo. The Chiron pushing in as the mana is going to get taken out. There are boar, or there's 2 boar over here that Momo should know about, so he could go for that one. We see the Chiron now coming in, going to start harassing this citizen here off of this location. There's more units coming through for Momo. He's trying to get out as many units as he possibly can. He does cast the Valor down onto this position, going to immediately try and go after that Chiron with his units. Has to be a little bit careful about what he's trying to do here, as the citizen do garrison into the manor. Will have to get pulled back. Momo's got himself 75 population, so he's built all of the houses that he needs to continue pumping out these units. And we do see the archery range getting dropped by Ulysses as well, so he's going to have spent all the resources that he was saving up advancing, as we do see the restoration coming through to combat that early shockwave there. And Momo will have to retreat back, and I think Momo's going to be happy with that. Should be okay to continue here as he's pulling back. But what Ulysses needs to consider here is that if he continues producing from this location, he might not be able to afford the villages, and with only 4 villages on gold right now, he's going to have to sort that out. So we'll see how that's going to go, as Volta or Erebus is coming in. That's effectively an extra villager or so on gold in the early game, or just throughout the rest of the game. It's just a trickle of gold. How much exactly is it? I never know. Where would he be? Probably if I click Ulysses and then do this. Yes. 45 free gold a minute. So a little bit less than a villager gathering gold. Villagers gather gold at roughly 1 gold a second. So not quite as good as you might think, as the Terma trying to do some damage over here. You do have to micro this. The big difference between Oranos players and Oranos mains and then players playing Oranos is they don't realize exactly what they need to do with the Terma in these fights. As the Terma coming through, those Toxotes are very much in the middle of this fight. He can easily get sniped down. The Mermill are doing the best they can, but the Minotaur still alive here. Not really too many hero units remaining here for Momo. He probably shouldn't be fighting this one. This is exactly what the Greek players want, in a way, is a head-on-head fight, whereas what the Oranos player probably wants in this situation is to start splitting the army up and getting some raids in, as we are seeing the Promethean Offspring going for some raids here, as the villagers finishing up on the giraffe in the middle of the map, moving over here to eat some more giraffe on this position here as well. As Ulysses is motoring ahead in this game, he does pick up the relic, extra hit points for his archers here, as Momo is sitting back right now. He needs to get more active with this army. He's going to be moving the Terma forward, which is definitely a viable way forward in this game. As the Chiron Hippocon raids, not something you see very often, is to mix the Chiron in with these Hippocon, but definitely a decent idea here, as the citizen retreats back to safety into that sentry tower. As now the medium Terma going to be moving forward to try and hit some units. Do have to be careful. He's running straight into his opponent's army at this point, as the villagers are just hanging out here doing what they can, but not actually. There we go. It's all fine. You see the medium Terma retreating away as best as they possibly can here, and now Ulysses moving forward. We'll see how this is all gonna be going, as Momo checking around the map, looking for what he needs to find here. And here's is going to be in a bit of a difficult predicament because there's not really anywhere for him to raid. And not only that, if we take a look at what Momo's actually seen, he doesn't know where the resources are. So he knows that there's a gold mine here. He knows that there's a sentinel on this gold mine, but he doesn't know where the wood is. And the wood raids are very important here for the Oranos player to find some chip damage or villager kills or things like that, as we're now seeing the farms have come down for Momo as he's going to be murdering ahead in this game. But Ulysses is not going to have to go onto farms. He's got Elephant over here. He's got everything on the map. He's got the map control that he needs, and he's got a really, really strong army created at this point. And effectively here, Momo is struggling to produce even villages at this point because he's just overproducing on the Mermilla. You can see 13 villages for Momo equals roughly 39 villages, and that means that Ulysses is basically equal at 10 minutes into the game. That means that Momo hasn't been producing villages fast enough here at all. So some problems for Momo in this game, economically speaking, as there is also another problem that's going to be arising for Momo, and that's going to be gold situation, whereby the Ulysses army is going to just be able to move forward and attack this location, and Momo will have to fight. And Momo probably doesn't want to fight here. He is at full population. He should be thinking about getting his medium upgrades. Going to be retreating back. We see another Minotaur coming into this fight, into this army. Look at that army. It's gigantic here for Ulysses. Absolutely massive. 114 population apiece here as Momo pulls back. He's only got 2 military buildings. He's going to have to throw down a bunch more if he wants to continue fighting in this game. We do see the Terma have spotted some villagers over here. Does get a villager kill. Might get a second villager kill as well. So we're also seeing the villagers moving really far forward onto these boar over here, as now Ulysses can think about dropping buildings on the front of this army here. As you see another counter barracks coming down, maybe for Cairo Ballista or something like that, as the army trying to fight through here. Medium archers coming through for Ulysses. He's got plenty of archers in his army, as the Hades army here is so absurdly strong. We see a Valor getting dropped down onto this position, as a Toxote getting taken down, but the army receiving return fire here as it tries to retreat away after getting that damage done. Random villagers over here not quite working. We see the Terma coming back onto this position. Maybe going to find the villagers hunting on the front there. That could be a really, really big win for Momo if he hits that. And he is going to be finding that one there, as the units fighting as best as they can on this position. The Terma come through, going to start getting the damage done onto these villagers. Ulysses not paying attention. Just now big shockwave coming through there, as Ulysses' army though is incredibly strong here. 115 population for Momo, 105 population for Ulysses, as Momo taking down those villagers on the back. He doesn't have his full army in this fight right now, so it looks like Ulysses might be able to take this fight nicely, as the Term are going to be chasing the villagers away. More units coming in, 90 population. Momo's population is dropping very, very fast here, as Ulysses is going to be attempting to move around and continue taking down Momo's base here, as Momo is continuing to look for raids with his Term. Actually, his Term are currently idle here. Might want to bring them back into this army, see what they can do, as we're now starting to see some Carabalsa coming in. We've got an armory drop down, as Momo's thinking about getting to the heroic age here, or getting some pierce armor upgrades, some copper upgrades in the armory. Could be a good idea to continue in on this game, as the villagers do spot this villager over on this gold mine citizen. Now moving forward over here to get more gold in, as the citizen is going to be making a break for its life here, as a couple more villagers are going to be getting taken down. Even the citizen getting in the shanks to find some sort of advantage over here, as the army still fighting nicely for Ulysses. He's taking out Momo's army very, very nicely, as Momo's control not the best here in this game, as Ulysses does pick off one citizen over here. The villager going to move over here to grab this storehouse yet again, as it's very out of position. But now we're going to start seeing units streaming in onto this gold mine here, as Momo going to be struggling. He's going to try and throw up this manor as fast as he possibly can. A whole bunch of citizens going to be making their move over there, as Momo has to figure out how he's going to continue in this game with no gold. If his army is going to be continually split up, he needs to win a fight here, as he's going to continue to try and mine this gold mine over here. Tons of villagers on this position, as now Ulysses is going to start making the move up over here. He's got 100 population, 111 population to Momo's 109 population here, as the manor does get destroyed, it would seem, and Momo still, I don't think, has got himself medium upgrade. So those Murmillo are not doing as well as they should here at all, As Momo going to throw down another mana on this position, another military barracks, as now we see Ulysses making the march in. We see one Minotaur getting taken out here, as Momo going to be pulling back slightly, trying to jockey around for the position that he wants. Those Kyro Ballists are going to do some good damage. We're starting to see the micro from the Terma to try and take down those Toxotes. You do have to micro this a little bit differently than you might feel. If you've got, say, 10 Terma, you need to target 5 of the Terma onto one Toxote, 5 of the other Terma onto another Toxote, otherwise you get significant death to your Terma. And while this is happening, the Terma get absolutely cleaned up by those hoplites here. Beautiful micro from Ulysses, maybe just lackluster micro from Momo. Momo drops down to 68 population, Ulysses at 90 population, as he clearly wins that fight here. And now the gold villagers are having to garrison into the mana, and Momo's only got 268 gold left in his bank here. He's trying to spam out units as fast as he can, but it looks to me like Ulysses has got a firm grasp on this position, going to be trying to take down the mana, and then that's the citizen going to be having to retreat, going to be difficult to escape from those Toxotes that can deal damage from afar here. As more Murmillo are getting taken out, the mana going to fall as well fairly soon, I'm sure, as another unit falling. The mana over here slowly falling, and then we're also seeing Hades Shades starting to come through for Ulysses. The advantage for Hades in these prolonged classical fights is definitely those Hades Shades, and in that moment Momo does decide to tap out. Ulysses really making a statement here about Greek against Oranos in this game, specifically Hades, in that the second town center doesn't matter. You don't need to force yourself into that position that is really, really difficult to hold, because you can just go one town center Athena and compete here with restoration, good control of your army, and a solid understanding of the matchup. You can easily get gold staves here, though. Momo advancing not 430 in this game, not having the ability to continue eating his boar here, having to farm really early, did make things very difficult for him. Not bringing the oracles back here to defend against the Ajax, the early Ajax pressure, definitely catching him out. Now Ulysses has leveled the series. A chance for a reverse sweep here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if Ulysses can convert here. He no longer has any Greek gods either. Same to does Momo. Both players Greek mains to some degree. We'll see what Ulysses is going to pick for game number 4 and game number 7, I should say. And if Momo's going to stick with Oranos here, or going to decide to pick the Odin again in an attempt to counter Oranos, as that's potentially the god that Ulysses wants to pick in game for his 4th win. We'll see what he's going to pick. If you guys are enjoying these games and enjoying this series, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.